Do your legs or arms bruise like crazy, swell for no reason, or have fat that won't budge no matter what you do or what you eat? You might have been told it's just stubborn fat or cellulite, but what if it's not that at all? In this video, I'm breaking down two misunderstood medical conditions, lipedema and lymphedema, that affect millions, especially women, and often go undiagnosed for decades. Hi, I'm Sharrell, and I was one of those women. After decades of pain, shame, and confusion, I finally got answers. And what I learned might help you recognize what's been happening in your body too. So let's dig into these conditions. First up, we have lipedema. It's a barely understood disorder that almost exclusively affects women. It's thought to be genetic and hormonally influenced because it's often triggered or worsened during puberty, pregnancy, and menopause. With lipedema, the lymphatic system isn't draining properly, and the toxic fluid that it would normally process out leaks into pockets in the arms and legs, and it's pretty gross, I think, because that nasty toxic fluid encases fat cells and other junk, resulting in nodules from the size of a grain of rice to a grape all the way up to the size of walnuts. These pockets are painful and they bruise easily. If you've ever wanted to scream when they put a blood pressure cuff on your arm, you know what I mean. And if you have unusually thin skin like I do, you can actually see the distortion the nodules cause, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. I always thought it was cellulite. I think that's what we were told. But you know what? We don't go around feeling up each other's fat pockets, so we don't understand that ours is dramatically different. And even worse, these nodules and toxic sludge, they won't go away with regular diet or exercise. When it comes to lipedema, it's usually labeled obesity and you're told to lose weight and you beat yourself up. But what's scary is that if it's untreated, you can end up in a wheelchair because it progresses and your legs can get so large you can't walk. On the other hand, lymphedema shows up in both women and men. It results from one of two things: malformation at birth or damage to the lymphatic vessels or nodes. Both cause drainage issues of fluid and swelling. But unlike with lipedema, lymphedema, the fluid doesn't leak out into the pockets and create nodules. It stays in the limb and the lymph system, so it's an even swelling. But that swelling is dangerous. And like I said, you're either born with it or there was some kind of damage done that caused it, like during surgery, radiation, an infection, trauma, or venous insufficiency. And when both conditions, like with me, are present, they compound each other. I had one of the telltale signs of lymphedema, and it showed up somewhere around age 50, and that's the cuffing starting at my ankles, especially my left. And like I said, it can start as early as puberty, and it can go undiagnosed like it did with me for decades. It was an accident that I was diagnosed 3 years ago in Athens because I had to go to the doctor because of these split fingers. She gave me the most thorough exam I'd ever had anywhere. And when she looked over my upper arms and upper legs, she said, "You've got lipedema." And she said the sign in my upper arms was the twists in fat that I thought were gravity and age related. She said, "No, those are real symptoms, red flag symptoms." Then she had me feel her upper arms and Andy's arms. And I understood finally that it does feel smooth when fat is normal. And I was so shocked, especially when she had me find nodules all the way up to a size of a walnut. It's in my upper arm and it's horrific. I'm still horrified. Then she moved on and saw my left ankle and pointed out the weird swelling that I was used to. I thought it was due to travel. And she said, "No, it's going to cuff. You have lymphedema, especially in your left calf, and it's going to fold down." And she said, "I have to wear compression garments get special massages to try to help drain the toxic sludge out manually because it's not going to do it on its own. She said I could jump on a rebounder or walk back and forth in a pool. And if I didn't do these things, I was going to end up in a wheelchair. And I left her office reeling. I started to research it so I could understand it because, like I said, I had never heard of it. I found a bunch of YouTube channels, and one has been incredibly helpful. I'll show the thumbnail here. Sturdy Woman. She's really good. Getting that diagnosis, it was a mix of grief and relief. Relief because I had answers to why my arms and legs weren't getting any smaller, why they were starting to look hideous and embarrassing. But I also felt grief for all the years that I had spent hating my body and blaming myself that I had ruined it from yo-yo dieting. And the 63-year-old woman, she was grieving because she learned she had been fighting an invisible, progressive disease since about age 13. The mysterious bruising that made people think I was clumsy, lipedema, it makes you bruise easily. The increasing pain and swelling over the years, lipedema progressing, and lymphedema coming in. Every piece of my lifelong puzzle suddenly made perfect sense. And if you want more help recognizing these conditions, as well as other possible related problems that you might have, I created something I wish someone had given me 30 years ago, and it could help you discuss your symptoms with your doctor, or at least start the conversation. It's called the Body Warning System Your Doctor Never Taught You, 3 checklists every woman over 50 needs. It's a free 18-page guide, and I packed it with information and simple checklists that will help you spot the signs of lipedema and lymphedema that your doctor could have possibly missed. Also, recognize inflammation systems, or see if sugar addiction could be making everything worse. Just drop the word guide in the comments, and I will send you the link. And if you want to hear the full diagnosis story and see how I trace these conditions back through photos all the way to puberty, where they usually start, check out this video next.